Holly dog. Hello. Hi. I'm gonna tell you a story, as it's all stormy about. This story takes place also during a storm. There was Lady Holly and Sir Pumpkin. Lady Holly being a bit of an aristocrat, not the sort who does much work herself, but is very, very lovely to look at and has some pretty good manners most of the time. And then there was Sir Pumpkin, he was a marvelous hunter. An aristocrat too, perhaps, but he did not seem it. And Sir Pumpkin and Lady Holly, they were on an adventure. Not by choice, perhaps, but they'd ended up meeting partway through their respective adventures, for they both were questing. Yes, they were both questing to find a dragon. Now, this wasn't the sort of quest where you go and slay the dragon. This dragon, rather, was not a threat per se, more so a potential ally. So Sir Pumpkin and Lady Holly, they were on a mission to find this dragon to ally with their kingdom and fight off the horde of unicorns that had laid siege. So they journeyed, and as they were journeying, it got really, really stormy. It was raining, just pouring, cats and dogs, one might say, and the wind, it was blowing, it was howling, it was as aggressive as what it can be, really. And then they had to hide out in a cave for the night, yeah. So they did that, which wasn't really to Lady Holly's liking, but Sir Pumpkin, he was well used to the outdoors. So they rested, and they thought about how they would go about finding the dragon, because they hadn't had much luck yet, see. Sir Pumpkin had a map, but it was outdated, and Lady Holly, she wasn't really the navigating sort, but she had to do what she had to do for her kingdom, even if she wasn't really much of an adventurer. So they adventured, and thought every time they had to stop. And eventually, the weather became more appealing. It came to become summer, and still they were searching. Okay, maybe summer did not last, and now it's fall, and it's storming again. So they go into another cave. But this cave, unlike the last cave, was particularly special. See, it had a map, a magic map, that was continually updating, that gave the locations of the most powerful dragons in the land. And this dragon that they were searching for, they found it on the map. And it was actually quite near. Rather, it was hidden by magic, so they hadn't found it. So, now that they knew where it was, they sought out the particular spot on the map, and they worked out how to counteract the magic they were seeing. They were very cold and wet with all the rain that's happening, but they were determined. And they managed to get through the magic, the glamours, and meet with the dragon. And the dragon, she was impressed with their persistence. So she told them that, yes, she would ally with them and help them fight against the unicorns. And so they all rushed back, because it had been a while, and as strong as the kingdom was, as unicorns laying siege is a bit of a catastrophe, but they had managed to hold them off well enough, and with the dragon's help, as well as the help of her kin, they managed to fight off the unicorns, and the kingdom was once again at peace. The end. Yeah. Is that a good story, Holly? You and Sir Pumpkin? Yeah. Alright, I'll let you sleep now, because I guess it's bedtime.